There's no nicer way to start a cruise than with a glass of champagne. Oh, yes there is. 2 glasses of champagne. The New England cruise is a route of very English-looking harbours and rugged Cornish-like coastlines, then big cities and sun.
This is the beautiful Boston Common and we're searching for the Cheers Bar. We're walking through to the top of the Common and we're going to pass the Boston, Massachusetts State House, which is that building there. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. I guess Boston will have to go on our movie location section. This is Boston's Chinatown. This is the Boston Tea Party Museum. It's $28 to go in, so it's quite a lot. And this is Paul Revere's house where he lived with his wife Rachel. We finished up our day in Boston with a bite to eat at Joe's, which is right on the waterfront, really good value and delicious food. This is the glorious Glass House, where they have Ollie Smith's fabulous selection of wines with very tasty meals at a small premium.
Our next stop was to be Bar Harbor, but bad weather meant we had to miss it. So we sailed under the Brooklyn Bridge and into New York a day early. With 3 days to film, we managed to make nearly 20 films. See our East Coast Films menu.
Welcome to New York. We've arrived at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal. The Brooklyn Bridge is behind me and the Statue of Liberty is over there. And this is where the immigrants were interviewed when they came to America.
From Times Square to Grand Central Station.
By coming in through the side, you get to see everything and then walk down the stairs like royalty.
Don't miss the railway exhibition at the back of the station. And just 2 blocks up on Madison Avenue.
A lot of good things have come out of the New York Library, including Ghostbusters. Standing outside Macy's, the world's largest store, and we're going up there.
360 views can also be obtained from the observation deck at the Rockefeller Center.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
After an exhausting 3 days in New York, a smaller city.
2 decades before Baltimore was founded, 5 small ports were here and they all merged to make up the port you now see. You may be wondering what a lighthouse is doing here. At the top of Jonestown is this beautiful statue. It's a monument to fallen policemen from the Baltimore Police Department. This is Fells Point. It was founded in 1730 by William Fell. This historic maritime community with its 18th and 19th century houses and its Belgian block streets still maintains its old world charm. If you don't want to walk, the water taxi will bring you to Fells Point and it is worth a visit. Fells Point is a great name for a TV show. I don't know why someone hasn't done it. I have to say, I'm glad I came to Baltimore.
It was tempting to go into Washington, but as this was our first visit to Baltimore, we found more than enough to keep us interested and occupied for a day, as you'll see on our full film on Baltimore on Doris Visits.
And what a treat that beautiful sunset is.
And even more of a treat from the Pennant Bar at the back of the Aurora, saying goodbye to Baltimore.
Welcome to Charleston, and yes, it really is that close. It's a very walkable town. Unlike Boston, there's nothing in the harbour. Fleet Landing is the only place on the water to get refreshment. Once you walk across the bridge, you're at the Customs Building, and behind the Customs Building is the main street, Market Street, which runs all the way through the town.
We've got the Old City Jail. You'll see Rainbow Row sometimes. You can see a lot of the historic homes down there. You see a lot of the house museums, and some routes go to the Battery as well.
The carriage ride costs $26 for an adult and $16 for a child, or you can book them on Doris Visits. The guidebook, Charleston Ware, is a lot better than the map they give you outside the ship, which seems to be just a catalogue of churches, and that's why Charleston's named the Holy City. They've got more churches than Rome. The Charleston Museum is called America's first museum. It was established in 1773 and is the oldest museum in America. If you were looking for Joseph Manigault House, you'd think you were looking for something like that with the verandas, but no, it's this. It's a brick-built house. It's one of the first examples of federal architecture. A couple of things to put on your walking tour would be the old Exchange House, where slaves were sold, and the Slavery Museum, and they're both over that side. We're going down Broad Street now. This is City Hall. It was built in 1801 as the first bank of the United States. At the bottom of Broad Street is the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. During the Revolutionary War, the American prisoners were held prisoner in the Provost Dungeon, which now provides an eerie tour through history.
This is where they picked the men who would go to Philadelphia to sign the Declaration of Independence. And this is a copy of it, and feel free to sign it.
This is the promenade deck, deck 7, where everyone does their step.
After my early morning exercise, we sail into Bermuda. The Bermudas are about 138 islands in a fishhook shape, 22 miles long in the sea. And we arrive at the naval dockyard across the bay from the capital, Hamilton. There's actually more than enough to keep you busy in the dockyard. There are playgrounds, shops, museums, and to be honest, there's very little to see across the ferry in Hamilton, but that is where you'll find the central bus station, and the ferry is the quickest way there. You can purchase an all-day travel ticket for the ferry and buses at the tourist centre in the dockyard by the ferry. You can travel around and see more of Bermuda. You could find a private beach, or a bigger one with a bar. Bermuda is also a golfer's paradise. Next time, I'll bring my golf clubs. By Flats Bridge, in the middle of the island, you can find the aquarium. Just like Barbados, Bermuda is broken up into parishes and is very easy to travel around by bus.
This island has a very different feel to the Caribbean, including the temperature, which is noticeably colder. The streets are very pretty, cobbled, very clean. I'm going to go and have a look at the town square. So here we have one of the 2 botanical gardens in Ponta Delgada. Listen to the birds. Great fun for children to play in. Don't forget when you visit the port, if you want to book online before you go, buying the tickets at Doris Visits might be cheaper. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook and book your holiday through us on our website.